Hello Wargamers, it's me, Callum from TableTopBanter, and I'm here with Harry today for a 1500 point game of 40k. Dark Angels versus Crimson Fists. Apologies for using the old camera, we just had a problem with micro SD cards. Various problems, which meant we actually lost like 4 hours of footage, or no, sorry, 4 hours of game.
And it was good because I won.
Yeah, and I won, so it was like a two-part, and we're slightly gutted, but we're going to give this a go on the old camera for now, and sort out an SD card in the near future. So, we'll start off with the 1500 points of Dark Angels. Over here we have a Mastery Level 2 Librarian with a Conversion Field. We have a Company Master. He is armed with a Relic Blade, a Combi Plasma, Storm Shield, and Shroud of Heroes, which gives him Feel No Pain and Shrouded if he's on his own. Over here we have a 10-man tactical squad, plasma pistol, plasma gun in a Rhino with dozer blades, a 10-man tactical squad with a plasma gun and a plasma cannon, and a 5-man devastator squad. Guy on the far right there is the sergeant, 2 las cannons. Over here we have a Deathwing Terminator squad with chain fist and assault cannon, a Ravenwing Bite squad with plasma gun and sergeant has melter bombs, and a Ravenwing Black Knight squad where the sergeant has melter bombs and they're all plasma talons. At the back here we have the Nephilim Jet Fighter, twin-linked las cannon upgrade. And finally, so that was all one combined arms, and I have a fortification detachment of a quad gun and Aegis defense line. So that's a fairly well-rounded 1500 point list of Dark Angels. So we're just going to go and have a look at Harry's Crimson Fists. Okay, so we're just going to get Harry to go through his 1500 point list of Crimson Fists.
Yeah, so lots of proxies going on here. These are actually the command tanks. So this is the Land Raider Excelsior. So it's actually, this is a grav cannon. It's the new type of grav cannon that looks like an assault cannon, and the new las cannons that actually look like hurricane bolters. So that's the Land Raider Excelsior. There's a few special rules we'll probably go over during the game, and that's paired with the Rhino Primaris, which has a twin-linked plasma gun, I think, and a ton of special rules as well. Another HQ I'm taking is, of course, Pedro Cantor. How can you not? There he is. So then we'll go on to Fast Attack at the front. It's just a standard assault squad, Veteran Sergeant Power Sword. 2 10-man tactical squads, and a combat squad in I'm not sure. But one's got a missile launcher, grav gun, one's got heavy bolter, plasma gun, and then a combi plasma for the sergeant. And then we've got a Storm Talon gunship with a twin-linked assault cannon, and I've got the las cannons on there. Then we've got a Stern Guard squad, no upgrades. There should be 5, there will be 5, in a assault drop pod. The 5th guy's obviously in there, check it out. And then we've got a 5-man Terminator squad with assault cannon and chain fist.
Lovely, so those are 1500 points of Crimson Fist. We'll be doing tactical objectives, so you'll see us in a minute once we have set up the objectives, the terrain, and deployed. Hello Wargamers, it's me Callum from TableTopBanter. Here we have deployment for our 1500 point game of Crimson Fist versus Dark Angels. So I'll just take you through the objective placement on the board first of all. We are playing Maelstrom of War, so number 1. Number 2 is up here. Number 6 is down there. Over here we have number 5, number 3, and right over there you see number 4. So, just so you know where they are roughly, I'm going to try and do some like overhead shots and stuff as well, so you can get an idea of where everything is. Over here we have a combat squad, 5-man with a missile launcher, a 5-man assault squad. Veteran Sergeant has a power sword in there. We have both of the command tanks, that is 1 Rhino Primaris with 5 tacticals in, 1 Land Raider Excelsior with Pedro Cantor and 5 tacticals in. Over here we have the 5 Terminators, assault cannon, chain fist, 5 tacticals, heavy bolter. That's the other half of the combat squad. No, it's not. It's the other half of 1 combat squad. Sorry. So yeah, what I'll do is now take you to the Dark Angels deployment. In reserve, Harry has a drop pod with 5 Stern Guard and a Storm Talon gunship. Okie doke, so I'm just going to roll round into the Dark Angels deployment. On the board, working from left to right, we have Ravenwing Bikers, Rhino full of Tactical Marines, the Aegis defense line through the building, a 5-man combat squad of tacticals. Company Master with his... Whoops, that's a librarian who's fallen off of a ruined building. So there was 5 Terminators, but now one of them's dead.
No. Your Tactical Master's Alpha Strike, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the orbital bombardment of a librarian. Librarian bombardment. So yeah, there's the defense line. In here we have the devs. Up there we do have a librarian. Did have a librarian.
He'll climb back up there before it starts.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Don't worry. I've asked. He's okay. And then we have a 5-man combat squad with plasma cannon right there. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the on-field deployment. So in reserve, this definitely not messy desk, we have a Raven Wing jet fighter, the Nephilim one, and the outflanking bikes. So currently Harry has first turn. I did win the roll off, but decided to deploy second. I like to react more than proact. So let's see if I can. Oh, actually, you've got 3 pinning tests to make for 3 of your units.
Oh, I do.
So I'm going to choose that Terminator squad, leadership 9. They are not pinned. The assault squad, leadership 9. They are not pinned. And the missile launchers. No, actually, they're going to move anyway. Heavy bolter squad. They are pinned.
They are
so
pinned.
just stick that dice by there so we remember. And there we have it. Now I need to roll for seize the initiative. On a 6, I go first. It's an unseize the initiative. So, Crimson Fists, turn 1. Okay folks, so that was Crimson Fist turn 1. We had the drop pod stern guard come down. It was interceptor fired by the quad gun using the librarian, and it was all twin linked and that, so we managed to kill 1. It's obviously very difficult to know what to do with the drop pod, but the way I've seen it played and had played against me is such that you fire it at the unit inside, even though that makes literally no sense. But then if you blow up the drop pod, everyone should die, so I guess either way is fine. So what happened basically was the command tanks both moved forward. You can see those Terminators tried to go through terrain and rolled a 2, a 1 and a 2, so they didn't get very far. Those guys were pinned, so they couldn't move and had to snap fire. And over here we had the Assault Marines. They came charging forwards. These guys are in the building, but the windows aren't quite wide enough, so we've placed the dice on the floor that they are on, and they are 3 inches in because of their movement. So keeping a note of that. Over here, oh yeah, sorry, that's my stuff. I haven't even moved it. Okay, so basically, for objectives, Harry had secure objective 5, 2, and demolitions. He put a lot of shots into this quad gun and didn't do a single wound. That was 1 twin-linked las cannon, 1 twin-linked re-rolling to wound grav cannon, and was that it? Or did you put in some more stuff?
That's all I put into it.
That's all you put into it. Okay, well, it's still a lot of stuff. But yeah, that didn't happen. However, he is within 3 of secure objective 5, so that is 1 point for Senor Harry.
And the note we're making with these objectives...
Oh yeah, these battlements.
We're only going to... because we're saying that it's 5 will cover on the top floor downstairs.
In the building, yeah.
So we're going to say that it's... you only get that objective if you are...
on the top floor.
On the top floor. Same with
yeah, these are both 5 up saves as well. So... with that, we are going to roll into Dark Angel's turn 1, and we'll see you in a bit, guys. Okay, folks, so here we have it. The end of Dark Angel's turn 1. Movement, let's see. These guys just shuffled a little bit, trying to protect the plasma cannon. The Librarian attached himself to this squad down here. Over here we have the Terminators moved and ran up a little bit, just trying to hide from that rather scary Land Raider. The unit down here just moved out, tried to get line of sight on the Assault Marines. Bikes came up here, hiding Rhino over there. So, in the shooting phase, this guy did nothing. These guys did nothing, but that was only my rolling. The plasma gun hit twice and then rolled double 1s for wounding, so no dead Assault Terminators there. Assault Marines, sorry. Plasma gun in here shot in and killed himself. This guy killed an Assault Marine. Booyah! So this obviously couldn't fire because it intercepted last turn. The las cannons targeted the Primaris Rhino and didn't do anything. Unfortunately, Harry made his cover save. Star of the show right here, Mr. Plasma Cannon. I get cost prescience, and now we only have one Terminator left. He lost 4 from the blast. Could have been 5, but I did actually fail to wound one of them, so who knows? Could have been first blood on a Terminator squad. That would have been hilarious. Anyway, in terms of objectives, I drew Blood and Guts, Scour the Skies, and Ascendancy, none of which I got. And I'm going to discard. That's a tricky one. I'm going to discard Scour the Skies. No, I'm not. Actually, I'm going to stick with those 3. So we're going to go into Crimson Fist turn 2. We've already rolled for reserves, and the Storm Talon has not come on.
Objectives as well.
And the objectives.
I got Secure 5 last turn. I'm not discarding any.
Okay. And now you have
Secure Objective 3,
which is that one there. Lovely. Okay. So in we go to Crimson Fist's turn 2. Alright guys, so that was the end of Crimson Fist turn 2. Fairly successful. Managed to completely wipe out this plasma gun squad. Those 3 dice are representing of the souls. No, I accidentally just left them there, but it kind of fits. So that was movement. Let's sum up movement first actually. So these guys made their way onto the top of that building. Over here, the Land Raider stayed still and pivoted, and the Rhino stayed still. Those are 2 kind of important things.
Terminator hit.
Terminator, he's a wuss. And then these guys moved up onto that objective. Also, these Assault Marines used their jump packs to come forward. So lovely work there. Pretty happy with that myself. Into the shooting phase, the Stern Guard fired in their 2+ poison rounds and wiped out these guys here. Heavy Bolter Snap fired into my Devastators, managed to kill 1. The Bolt pistols from the good point, from the Assault Marines. They managed to kill 1, and the big barrage.
Big barrage, yeah.
That's right. So the Rhino Primaris, for those who don't know, has a massive blast, ordnance. Is it strength 10 AP2?
Strength 10 AP1.
AP1, okay.
Massive blast.
But it is ordnance, and it did scatter back. It clipped the librarian, but he look answered onto someone else, so they died instead, basically. The quad gun was obliterated by a Land Raider with 2 twin-link las cannons and a grav cannon, and it literally took all of them to do the number of wounds for 2 turns in a row. Shooting, these guys just popped in a couple of shots at the devs and didn't do anything. So, an alright turn, possibly not the most productive, but with plenty left. And in all fairness, for points,
I got
all of your objectives.
Yeah, I got all my objectives and I got
First blood as well. So Harry's currently sat on 5 points to none. So although he didn't kill everything on the board, that doesn't matter. This is an objective game, and in that respect, Harry's doing pretty damn well. So we're going to go into Dark Angels turn 2 now. I obviously have the same objective cards, so let's see what I can get done. Okay folks, so turn 2 for the Dark Angels. What we had in terms of movement phase, right, I did shuffle around to try and get some objectives. So up here we have the Rhino now. The bikes came over this way along with the guys. Terminators actually moved around this side of the building. Coming on from reserves, we have this guy, or these guys here. I was hoping to claim this objective, and I kind of forgot the drop pod was a thing. So I didn't quite get my ascendancy from the previous turn, as you may remember. Now, going into the shooting phase, the plasma gun from this squad opened up on that squad, and could only see 1, but he killed him. These guys obviously didn't shoot, these guys ran. Now, over here we had the Terminators move up, because they're Deathwing, they get 1 weapon can split fire. So I split fired into the Rhino, managed to do a penetrating hit weapon, destroyed Then my twin-linked ignores cover las cannons from my psychic phase, getting prescient and perfect timing. Managed to pop that rhino over there, which was quite handy because it has a couple of benefits. The squad popped out in the building over there. Over here we had the Terminators. They were in a fight with the Assault Marines, and when I say a fight, I mean it wasn't really, it was more of a massacre. Taken out all of them, almost just with the Company Master, to be quite honest. It was pretty savage. So, in terms of objectives, only managed to get Blood and Guts. So still got Scour the Skies and Ascendancy, which I am thinking of holding on to. So I think I'm going to keep those, and that has put me on 1 point to Harry's 5. As we head into Crimson Fists, turn 3, do you want to roll for your flyer?
I'll roll for my flyer. I have done my tactical objectives, so my
He
flyer
comes in. Cool beans. And
tactical objectives, I've got Supremacy, but where I need 2 objective markers and hold twice
as many as me. Yeah.
Secure objective 6, that's not happening, and make you fail a morale test, which probably isn't happening.
Okie dokie.
But my flyer comes in.
He does come in, and that will lead nicely into Crimson Fists turn 3. Alright, Wargamers, so here we have the end of Crimson Fist turn 3. It was pretty intense. This Land Raider moved up 6. Guys in there just steadfast. The Terminator hid. I think it's fair to say that's what he's doing. And then both units of tacticals over here and over there, they both remain still. And over here we had
These moved a little bit.
Oh yeah, they reshuffled.
Yeah.
This Storm Talon came on, obviously with one thing in mind. So into the shooting phase. Let's start with this Storm Talon. He fired in his assault cannon and twinning las cannon into this rhino, stripping 2 hull points and immobilizing it. So not ideal, but could be worse. That unit just stayed put, so no line of sight on them at the moment. In here, these guys fired into the Terminators, unable to do any wounds, unfortunately, for Harry. Then we had the Land Raider. Snap fired 1 las cannon into these guys, and then the grab cannon and the las cannon, twinning las cannon, fired into these Black Knights. Managed to kill 1 despite the 3-up rerollable Jinx save. They failed morale but stayed on the board. Cleared me off an objective, which meant that Harry got D3 victory points for Ascendancy, which he got 3, plus Psychological Warfare, so it's 9 points to 1. Things are not looking good for the Dark Angels at all. So let's see what happens when we go into Dark Angels turn 3. Okay, Wargamers, here we have it. The 3rd turn for the Dark Angels. So they disembarked. Obviously the Rhino didn't do much. Over here, hell happened to the Storm Talon. It met a Nephilim jet fighter which just pumped all of its shots into it and managed to kill it outright. No major results from crash and burn. This Land Raider was destroyed. Cast Prescience onto this unit, so they got to reroll to hits in combat. The Chain Fist took off 2, 1 glance from a regular guy, and the Melter Bomb on the Sergeant, worth his 5 points, as it ended up blowing up, well not blowing up, wrecking the Land Raider. Cantor and his 5 lackeys have come out, and over here these guys moved up and managed to kill the Terminator with some snap firing. Las cannons did absolutely nothing. So at the end of this turn, points are not looking good for the Dark Angels. So we've only got 2. Crimson Fists are up to 9 total points. As we go into turn 4 for the Crimson Fists, obviously no reserves to roll for this time. So here we go into turn 4. Alright chaps, so here we have the end of this turn for the Space Marines. Pedro Cantor and his unit charged into my Terminators. Did kill quite a few Termies, to be fair, but ended up getting insta-killed by the nasty Power Fists. So what else happened? Just sort of moved and shot, really. Tried to focus fire into my mini Death Star. Killed one of the what they call Black Knights. And objective-wise, didn't score any objectives?
No, I scored objective 1, Domination, and Scour the Skies.
Yeah, so no objective points there. However, to be fair, I am only on 3 and you're on 9. As we go into Dark Angels turn 4, it is hotting up, it has to be said. There is a chance I could come back from this, it is unlikely. I have a couple of objectives to draw, so let's get into Dark Angels turn 4. Alright guys, here we have it. The end of this turn so far. So, in a bit of a rush because Harry has to get home, I'll try and summarise this as best I can. These guys came in, charged over here, killed everything. These guys just came in, killed 1 fellow. Up here the las cannon managed to take a couple out as well. Over here the flyer managed to kill 1 guy. These guys just moved up, and that was about it really. So in terms of objectives, I did manage to... Did you fail a morale check?
Nope.
Nope, no failing morale checks. Did I secure objective 3? No I didn't. And Ascendancy does happen because of the guys in the middle, so I get D3...
Oh, On these guys.
What do you mean?
They failed moral check.
Oh yeah, so I do get psychological. I thought so. And also ascendancy, which is worth D3 victory points. Give us a good one. That's off the table.
Why do you have ascendancy?
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, stop it, you dick. 1 extra victory point there, so that's fine. As we go into Crimson Fist, turn 5. Okay, Wargamers, here we have it, the end of the game. A lot happened. So basically Harry had to leave early, so we did kind of get through the stuff a little quicker than normal. So do forgive us if this last few turns seemed a little rushed. I'm going to take my time now in explaining what happened towards the end of the game. And, you know, then we'll finish off with a nice little couple of scenic shots. So, we moulded the last couple of turns together through difficulty in time recording. Not a lot happened that was that different to seeing it. There were only a couple of things left that I had to really sort out. And in the end it did come down to a tabling, so what I'll just do is I'll just run you through what happened in the last couple of turns really. The unit in there got completely wiped, the unit over there was wiped, popped the drop pod with the las cannons, the unit up here was eventually caught by all of these marines, and what we were left with was no Crimson Fist left on the board. Now, this was a very experimental game for the pair of us. Mostly on Harry's side, because he was bringing the command tanks to see what they could do. He was bringing Pedro Cantor to see how that could help. And meanwhile, I was running a list that I'm slightly more familiar with my sort of semi-Death Star Company Master and his Deathwing, my Librarian, Master Level 2 stuff. I'm kind of a bit more familiar with this list. So, in that respect, the fact it was a new list, the Crimson Fist did alright. They came on, well, they had a strong start, let's put it this way. They were 9-1 up on objective points. The end was actually 10 all on objectives, but because I managed to get up to that unit and wipe them out and pop the drop pod, we were okay. So yeah, it ended turn 6, we did go on into turn 6. Basically, objective-wise, I would have had the game by the end as well because of movement, but it was a really, really good time. We both really enjoyed playing. And thank you very much for watching, as ever. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comments below. Let us know what you thought of the game. I do apologise again for using this older camera, but unfortunately a lack of micro SD card has meant that it's all I have at the moment to get battle reports out, because my my other camera needs a micro SD as opposed to just an SD. So this will have to do for now, unfortunately. I hope it hasn't been too bad. The lighting is a bit better in this room as well, so that's been really good. A very big positive, I think, because I have 6 spotlights above this table, pretty much one for every couple of feet. So, thank you very much for watching. As ever, 2 links in the description below. Don't forget to check those out. One to the TableTopBanter blog, and the other is to the Legion of Gamza Facebook page. Lots of great content from lots of great guys. So, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, have fun.